I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October.
What's up, you guys? This is Enraged Temper. Today I'm going to tell you guys about a legend and an amazing game. Okay, first off, we got some Thaw gameplay here in the background. 312 mil combo. Basically, almost every game, okay, has some sort of legend. There's some sort of legendary person for that game that everybody talks about. And for this game, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, which isn't too well known by today's gamer, but a few years back, let's not beat around the bush here. The last time this game was popular was back in Nam. So, but this game is an absolutely amazing game. One of the best Tony Hawk games ever made, for sure. Pro Skater 5 is complete shit. All of the newer Tony Hawk games are complete shit. And I'll tell you why they're complete shit. They're complete shit because Tony Hawk games were doing an awesome job, just being an arcade game, just doing their own thing. They were doing a great job, I have so many great memories on old school Tony Hawk games, Underground 1 and Underground 2, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland especially. As you can see, I fucking love the shit out of this game. And what happened was Skate came along, and Skate started making realistic games, and Tony Hawk franchise started losing money, so they were like, hey, we're losing money. Those guys over there are stealing our money, and they're taking our jobs. That sort of thing. So, Tony Hawk franchise started to try and make their games more realistic. And that's really where they fucked up. Because a lot of diehard Tony Hawk fans like Tony Hawk because it wasn't realistic like that. Like, dude, go flying off a fucking ramp or whatever and go flying over a building. What have you. Pull off some crazy shit. That's in my mind and in my heart what Tony Hawk was always supposed to be and is always supposed to be. And they're fucking their shit all up now today at this point. They're fucking their shit all up. But the legend for this game, Andy THPS. Now this name, Andy THPS, I have heard this name go around so many fucking times. Andy THPS, Andy THPS. Andy THPS, Andy THPS, Andy THPS. I've heard that shit so many times. And over the years, I've always thought, yeah, he was a real dude, yeah, he's the guy that you watch playing the demo when you first watch the game load up. Everybody talks about him. He must be real, But after a while, I really started to think about it. And recently, I had been having these moments where it was like, okay, is this dude really real? Like, everybody talks about Andy THPS, but nobody's ever met Andy THPS. Nobody's ever communicated with him like that. So I was like, is this guy real? Like, does this guy exist? Like, it's trippy to throw him into this perspective, but I almost started thinking about it like everybody says that they've talked to God. Everybody says that they've seen God. But who has really seen God, Like, who has really talked to God? And it started to become one of those things. Like, does Andy THPS really exist? Well, the other day, I went on to a Google search, and I found out that he did exist. So I hit him up on Twitter, and I was like, hey man, it's an inspiring feeling knowing that the legend is real, because it really is. Like, it's a fucking awesome feeling. And I was like, we'd love to see you on 360 someday on Thaw. And he wrote back and he was like, thanks man. And then he laughed and he was like, I didn't even know Thaw for 360 was still around. So like, yeah, I mean, and those of us who do play Thaw, it's one of those things, we've been starting to make a joke, one day we're going to get on and the servers are going to be down and we're not going to know what to do with our fucking lives just because this game is, it's an amazing game to play. It's one of those amazing, almost mindless games that you can play for hours and hours and hours on end and just never get tired of it. I mean, look at it. Like, you're soaring through the air like a fucking dragon. I mean, look at that shit, man. Like, who doesn't want to do that shit? Like, it's fucking awesome sauce, dude. In a fucking jar, in a game. Like, awesome sauce. You can label it and everything. But then I started thinking about how many questions people have for this guy. Like, I have tons of questions, and everybody else has questions on questions on questions on questions. Like, non-stop questions for Andy THPS and questions about Andy THPS. And so I began thinking, how can we... I don't know, it's weird. Like, how can we get these questions answered? You know? It's strange to, like, be like, yo, dude, can you answer all these questions about yourself? About, like, how you got into, you know, playing Tony Hawk games, and, like, how you got into actually being a tester for them and everything like that, and, like, just all those questions. Like, what's your controller look like, bro? Like, was it hoard out? I know my controller is hoard out. Right now, my damn controller, my left analog stick looks like a fucking, damn, it looks like a yin and yang symbol right now. Because of the way that the rubber is worn off of it. And I mean, everybody has their own questions, and the community is just filled with people who are just filled with questions. And so I started thinking, you know, what if I could possibly, you know, do some sort of formal, like, Skype interview with this dude? Like, see if I can get this man on a Skype interview and, like, see what's up with him. Because he's in a band and shit like that, too. So, like, I don't know. And it's not, his band isn't bad. Like, his band is actually pretty good. I was actually pretty surprised of how good they are and how less publicized they are. Like, they really don't have any media coverage whatsoever, but they're a really good band. And I was sort of surprised at that, you know, and I would feel that somebody that has worked as a video game tester has, you know, connections here and there. But peace out, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.